All right, hey guys. So, sorry, that's my arm. So, I had said this on our Push to Diamond call. I said we're gonna stay for a little amount of time, and then I came back on this call when not everyone was on, and I was like, God, I talk too much. But because we ended up staying like, I think it was like 8 minutes too. But I wanted to actually. This is gonna be a short call, unless you guys want to stay on with me to do a power hour. I wanted to talk about this document that's helping many of the team members. And I want to talk about the importance of it because of the fact that many times we are all over the place, me included. I'm so guilty of that. And I feel that if we start to work with intention and if we can start to really focus on, the activities and then forget the rest, I think that we are going to be able to achieve, our goals every single month. So if you are working 5 days a week, if you're working 6 days a week, I just want you to be, very, very intentional about those days that you work. So many times, a lot of people don't sign up with us because they say, Gab, or even to you guys, you've heard it, I don't have time. I have my kids that go to school and I have to do homework with them. And I work my 9 to 5, and that's not at 9 to 5. I get home at 7 p.m. And then I have to come home and cook. And then I have to come, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So I decided to talk to you guys today about this because of the fact that we've had this treasure for quite some time, but we're not using it consistently. And the reason I wanted to bring it up is because Nilda is a perfect example. And I know that all the pushers are using it right now. And every single one of you guys have told me this, right? So, and I see it when you guys post it on the page. But I just wanted to call on Nilda because of the fact that, Nilda has 5 kids. You gotta know. So there's no excuse for me because I only got 1. But basically, she's able to do this because she uses this list, like from the very top 1 all the way to number 13. So actually I updated it, guys. So I'm going to share it with you guys because I added the 4th behavior because it's new. When we created this the 4th vital was not in yet, was created yet. So, but the bottom line is that, she's able to do her business, and she has another business, and she has 5 kids, and she still, cleans and cooks and works out and does PD, and she does all of that. And she still has time for her kids because of the fact that she's being intentional with her time. And so, it kind of like put things into perspective because I'm a freaking mess. And so we don't want to attract that, right? We don't want to, we want to be able to show people that, what, that's fine that you are busy, but I'm going to show you step by step how you could do all of that in 1 hour. And literally, guys, I've done this in like 30 minutes. 30 minutes. You could do it in 45 minutes or an hour if you're inviting more people. But if you're doing the bare minimum, which is 5 people, you could do it in 30 minutes, for real.
But don't get it twisted. I'm a mess too.
We're all messes. But the fact is that you stay, you stay in order because of this. Wendy shared earlier today that this is keeping her sane. She might not be doing it in an hour time frame, but she's doing 15 here and she's checking it off as she goes. And then when she gets another 15 minutes, she's like, all right, now I'm on number 4. Let me check that off. And then she goes and she does number 5 and blah, 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 blah. And she gets it done in a day. It might take her, the whole day. And I know that she's not working Beachbody the whole day, but in increments, she's doing 10 minutes here, 15, 20 there, But the idea is that it's keeping her in line. And so I really want to concentrate on really like advocating for this document, and really being just using it. We have it for a reason. And I feel that the more we use it and the more we share it with our downline, and the more we say, what, it doesn't have to be that crazy. It doesn't have to be, disorganized. It doesn't have to be, 5 hours a day. It can be 1 hour a day. It could be 45 minutes a day. It could be 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. But it's important because sometimes when they come in, they're already new coaches are already overwhelmed because there is a lot of information, right? And so that's why it's important that we have something simple to give them and say, hey, I know that you're going through training right now, and I know that it might be, overwhelming, just take it one day at a time. But I do tell you that if you can just use this document for an hour, this is going to save your business. And it really is. So I just wanted to walk over, obviously the 4 vital behaviors. And then if you haven't done your power hour, you can stay on and we can do it together. If you have, then we don't have to stay on. But so the first one obviously is, the product of the product. Obviously you don't do that in your power hour. You don't do that during your power hour. You do that, whether you do it in the morning or at night. And some of you guys love to work out at night. Others do it in the morning. When you get your workout in, as long as you get it in, right? And then drinking your Shakeology, and you gotta be public about that, right? People gotta see that you have to be a product of the product, and you don't have to have a 6-pack. You don't have to be at your goal weight. The idea is that you are showing progress, and every time they see you, you look different, right? There is some improvement. So that's your first. That's your first product. That's your first behavior, product of the product. Behavior number 2 is your personal development, and there's 2 here for a reason, guys. Personal development is so important and it's so vital for our business, and we talked on our last call on that because of our mindset. Because our world, unfortunately, is full of negativity because of the experiences we have gone through, that if we don't, put positivity into our daily lives, we are going to get sucked into the negativity. So it's very important. I can't remember. It's one of the, is it Darren? I can't remember if it's Darren. Maybe Gladys is on the call. Gladys, tell me if it's him who says he compares personal development with like a dirty glass of water, and he says that PD, I think it's him, you put it under a faucet of running,
faucet, and more good will show. And yeah,
right, it's him, right?
Yes, it is.
It is him. So basically, you put it under water, and then if it's if it's dirty, it's muddy, the water, and then if you just let it sit there, it's going to clean it out, right? So that's what PD does for us. So, because he talks about how our mind, the way that we're set up or we're programmed, we basically gravitate towards negativity or the bad things because our body is looking out for harm to protect us, right? So we gravitate towards that. So it is our responsibility to basically, put in a lot of positivity in us. So that's the first one. And then the second one is PD as well, but it's more about, if you're doing PD for whatever area that you whether it's for your business because you just started, or whether it's because you're lacking in confidence and you're doing that, you still have to do something extra. Maybe let's say you want to open your life page, but you don't even know where to start. Then you can go to YouTube and do that. And that's what Pursue Knowledge is all about. You want to leaders train daily, right? So that you can get better at it. So that's an extra something. Maybe like an extra. Sorry, guys. Matias is already, doing his thing. So basically, every day you have to go out and search to do an extra something to get you to that next level. So personal development, I want to make it. I want to make sure that everybody understands that's you listening to an audio that's teaching you something, or a book, right? That's going to get you to, give you skills that you don't have, that you don't possess, or that you lack. It's not, I know that for me, it was so hard, guys, to do PD at the beginning. I was just like, why do I need this again? I just hit Success Club and I'm going to chill now. And that was my mentality. So, I don't want that to be you guys, because I wasted a lot of time doing that. My first few months as a coach, maybe my first 6 months as a coach. And I did plug in, right? And that's a form of PD. But I want you guys to take it to the next level. Pick up a book. And if you don't like to read like me, then listen to a book. All right? So I want to make sure that you know that as long as it's giving you positivity and you're learning something new, then you're doing PD. But if you are just picking up something because you didn't do PD that day and you just like connected to someone's video but you didn't learn anything from it, then that's not PD. So make sure that you are checking yourselves on that. And then behavior number 3, obviously, is invitation. The invite, you're sharing. The first one is birthday. And that's obviously to help with the algorithm with Facebook. If you're putting yourself on people's feeds, you know, what's going to happen is that your posts are going to come up on their posts. Facebook is going to think that, you know, that they're be like, you know, okay, they're friends. So if she's posting something, this person wants to see what she's posting about. So they're going to put your post in front of their faces. So it's important that we do that so that these people see our posts. The other thing is that, you know, these people might, if you haven't talked to them in a while, they might want to come to your page and they're like, what is she doing? Oh my gosh, it's just a happy birthday, you know, and then they might see like a challenge group, you know, ad or something. So make sure you're doing that. And then the complimenting, you know, that has nothing to do with Beachbody. You know, just remember that you're just depositing, adding value to people's lives, and that's just one of the laws, right? You reap what you sow. So basically, it's about giving love, and then, you know, you'll receive love. Danny talks about that a lot. She talks about whatever business you're in. This is our business, right? Our job is to genuinely care and pay it forward, you know, to help someone. Some people might not be ready, and that's okay. We can't force people. We can just offer, right? They have to willingly sign up with us. But she talks about, you know, maybe like helping people in other areas of their lives. So for example, maybe like, I don't know, maybe for example, like a book club, or maybe even, because I'm thinking about opening up War on Debt for just the general public. I wanted to do it with the team because I feel that, you know, our team needs it, and I feel that it's important for us to know about money. But I wanted to also see, you know, how it goes with the team, so that then I can open it up. But that's providing value back to the community. And what's going to happen is that, you know, those, not necessarily those people might sign up with me, but guess what's going to happen? You know, it's that law. You know, they are going to be like, you know what, Gabby helped me, and I know that this person needed to lose weight. I'm going to refer that person to Gabby. You know, and that's just the way that law works. And she talks about that all the time. So really just pouring into people, complimenting into people, connecting with people genuinely without expecting anything in return is what you want to do on a daily basis. And then the invitation process, obviously the power of 3 is the follow-up 3, the invite 3. The business invite is important, obviously, specifically because, you know, we want to be offering this amazing opportunity and putting it in front of other people's faces. So that's important. And then if you have leads, if you're hitting Success Club 5 or 10, then the company is going to give you free leads. So then you check on that every day. If you have it that day, good. If you don't, then you just cross off no. And then social media. We want to be posting on social media. We want to be adding people on social media, Instagram, if that's your platform, and Facebook. And then obviously 13 is actually now on my number 4, which is the checking in team pages stays there, but the challenge group is you check that, but you also recognize. You're recognizing your challengers. You're recognizing your coaches because that's one of our behaviors, right? Even if it wasn't before, I think that's why they made it one of our behaviors, because we were doing it on a daily basis anyway. You know, when I was, I mean, I loved going back in the back office and seeing, you know, who helped someone so that they can get a shout out, right? Or who hit Success Club the month before, or, you know, who ranked events and all that great stuff. But it doesn't have to be just that. So, you know, if you guys have any categories of things that we should be recognizing, then we should start doing those as well, right? So that people can also feel included and they can feel recognized, because there are other ways that people are improving, right? They feel more confident, or, you know, they could be even like a financial one. You know, they made an extra $250 this month and they were able to pay that extra bill. You know what I mean? So we should probably do something like that. You know, if you guys have ideas, please I want to hear them so that we can, as we continue to grow, we can incorporate that. And then the weekly must is the attraction post. And these are actually, I think these came about, or maybe not even, because this was this document was actually put together before I did the Josh Coates training, but they're very similar to his. And he talks about Sundays you do a coach opportunity post, and then you do, you know, 2 challenge group posts, even though they're not straight up challenge groups. If you do like the before and after on Tuesdays, and then you do the Thursday throwback, you know, at the end you always have a call to action. That's another thing I want to make sure you guys are all doing. Make sure that when you are talking about some sort of transformation, whether it's money, whether it's financial, whether it's physical, emotional, whatever it is, there is some sort of call to action at the end, because people want to know that they could do it too, right? You want to make sure that you put that message out, that if someone, so like if I'm scrolling through your Facebook, in those 5 last posts, I need to know that you're a coach. I need to know that I can join something that you're offering. You understand? That you are a part of something. Because if I don't, you know, that you're into health, fitness and nutrition, because if I come to your page and I don't see any of that, then how do I even know to ask you about fitness and nutrition? How do I even know to ask you to join your challenge group? How do I even know to ask you to be a part of your team, right? So those are important. So make sure that every 5 posts, you're rotating all of those. So that's why weekly must is the business post, the challenge group post, and then the coach attraction ones are things like what Nilda did today. She did the one that you did with your daughter, that you said I was able to take her to the doctor. That's, you know, this is why it's so amazing to, you know, be you said a business owner.
Yes.
Right. So things like that, so that you're jobbing all week. You got to job, and then, you know, when you're ready to throw that hook. So that's what I wanted to really just hone in, that we really have to start utilizing this to do this, because it is simple one, and also because if we get in the habit of doing it, then it's going to be second nature for us to say to our people, hey, here, use this. And so if it starts with us, it's going to trickle down. And no matter, you know, how big we get, you know, we know that every one of our coaches that are working are going to be doing the right activities, so that they can then, you know, be reaching success club by helping 3 people at least. All right. Any questions? Nope. Cool. So did everyone do their power hour today?
Sí.
Yes. Wendy? Bernie said yes. Ida, did you do your power hour? Michelle? Lisette? Gladys? Karen?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just missing the PG part.
Okay, so that's not part of your power hour. Who said that? Gladys?
Yeah. I meant the checklist. Listen, it's been a long day of mommy.
Your behavior 1.
Yeah.
Oh, no, your behavior 2. Sorry.
Gabby?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Sorry, I'm in the car.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I did my power hour. I'm actually like ready to go take a shower and go to bed. I'm tired. But question. So like I understand like you and Nilda put in those posts about like you guys being you know, like business owners. But would you recommend like somebody like me, like the rest of us then that are working in the daytime, like if like that's something that I can't put, obviously I can't put that I was able to like, you know, not call out or you know, because I took my daughter to the doctor. Like I can't put a post like that. I can't like basically use Beachbody right now for that. So like what would you recommend that we put?
That's a good question. No, I totally understand your question. So for you, it can be things like, because I have extra income, I'm able to do X, Y, and Z for my daughter, or I'm able to do X, Y, and Z for myself, right? Without having to take money out of my savings, without having to tap into my budget. You know what I'm saying? So it can be things like that, or it can be more of a, maybe the fact that you and Jamie are doing PD together, you're growing as a couple on a different level. Like that's something to admire. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people do that. And this is why, couples that work out together, couples that do PD together, things like that people would look at you and be like, oh my God, that's so, some people might roll their eyes and that's fine. That's going to happen. But there's other people that are looking for that are in need of that. You know what I'm saying? And they might be like, I want to be doing that. So basically, even if you're not able to do things because you're full-time employee, you also can, which I've heard many other coaches say, that you can paint a vision for people. This is what I want one day, and this is why I work my Beachbody, after I get, whether maybe, I don't know if you're doing it in the morning or you're doing it at night, but let's say you do it in the morning. You can say, I wake up an hour early and you want to paint a vision so that people can see where you're going and invite them to come with you. You understand? I might be sleeping an hour less right now, or I'm waking up an hour earlier because of the fact that this is where I'm going. And this is what Summer Tucker talked about, right? Painting a vision, knowing your vision, and being vulnerable enough to share it. Did you watch that, Nilda? That was after you. That was after Nilda, right? That was before Nilda, I mean?
Yeah, it was before.
I'm gonna bump it so you can watch that as a PD. And so I think that, getting vulnerable and being able to share, like I've been jabbing lately saying, I'm going to do this at some point in my life. You know what I mean? Like I was afraid to do that because people are going to be like, yeah, all right. Like putting a goal, like I'm going to retire Jorge. Like you guys know that, but the work, like, Jorge's like, I'm about to get fired. Right? Because I'm putting it out there. But that's my vision. That's my goal, right? And so people need to know that and not be afraid to post it, weekly. Why? Because it's not going to be in front of everybody. Remember that, only 7% of your Facebook friends will see what you're posting. So that's why it's important for you to do it constantly. So yes, I think driving vision is important. Making sure that you're sharing the things that you're able to do because of Beachbody, right? So those benefits you want to concentrate on. And it's okay for you to talk about the fact that you are a teacher and that you are, time and that, and that you love your job, that you love your students, but that, one day you want to be doing X, Y, and Z. And that's why you're working so hard right now so that can happen. All right.
Okay. So should we post something like that once a day or like a few times a week?
Yeah. I mean, so the 4 posts a day. So typically we say 3, right? The power of 3. You should be posting, but ideally if you post 4 times is great. So one of them should be business related. So it doesn't have to be necessarily join my team. Right?
Right.
It has to be indirect. So whatever it is that you're putting, like Jamie does a lot of this is a family type of post. Like these people think the same way, they have the same vision, they're positive, they like to repeat, he does a lot of that. So things like that, right? Because some people want to be a part of something like that, but it can also just be things like what Nilda does, right? Or like, for example, the Rosas, they work out as a family together, right? So finding really what works for you, that identify, basically your niche, right? So you want to be able to post once a day. You got to post something about the business. So Bonnie does that a lot. She does a sneak peek on her Facebook and her Instagram. So you go to her page and she's a coach because she freely talks about the fact that she's able to do X, Y, and Z because she's a coach. And a lot of coaches struggle with that. So it's a good question that you brought it up because people who work, they're like, or people who maybe are not making that much money, they feel like, how do I start to post about that? You post about the fact that you were able to pay an extra bill, a phone bill, a car note, whatever, because you're coaching,
So it's just basically like sharing it's just basically sharing my story. So like,
Yes.
if I put tomorrow, you know, I came home after a long day of fixing up my classroom. However, I'm gonna sit down. It's time to sit down now and like work on my business, you know. And like, I have a photo of like me sitting at my desk or something in my house, like something like that. Just being indirect.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
because people want to know what it is that you're doing, right? Some people might even be like, "Damn, where she gets all that energy from?" You know.
Yeah. Okay.
So things like, so every day one business post, like that indirect business post, and then 2 of them have to be your lifestyle, and then the other one has to be fitness and nutrition related.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? No? All right. So I think we're good. Channel 4, we did good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for jumping on. We'll see you next week. Have a wonderful
And Gabby,
Good night.
Good night.